Hi there, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. The other day I was checking my sweet potato patch and found this. Rats and mice have found the sweet potatoes, so it's time to get them all out of the ground. The coolness of autumn is starting to set in and you can really notice the changes in the veggie patch. Tomato vines are yellowing and finishing up, and so too with the bean plants. The leaves are yellowing and the pods are filling up and drying out. The pumpkin leaves are also starting to yellow. Sure sign that soon we'll be able to harvest these beautiful pumpkins. But I thought I still had a little bit of time before I had to harvest the sweet potatoes. The leaves are just starting to yellow off, but there's still a lot of growth on them and a lot of green, so I thought I had time. But the rats and the mice have certainly changed that. I have once before lost half my potato crop to rats and mice, so they're not going to get this patch. These sweet potato plants have grown massively, although I did just plant right through the middle of this garden bed. I do have a video on establishing this bed, so I'll leave a link to that. And I'll also leave a note on the screen as to what date I planted these, how long ago, because I'm not too sure. But basically we've got a lot of plants right through the middle, and that's where the potatoes seem to have grown. With these vines that have spread out across the garden, there's not a lot of roots that actually have made it through the wood chips and the compost layer and established any tubers there. But because of all the vigorous growth, I'm hoping all the energy it's caught from the sun means that we've got some big tubers. But anyway, we'll soon find out as we get going with this harvest. Oh, I've just found more activity from these rats and mice. You can see there is a little burrow in there, which makes me very concerned that they might have attacked some more of these tubers underground. No more delay, we've got to get these potatoes out of this patch. So I've got my spade and my secateurs, and we're going to just work from this end right down. I might start with chopping out some of the vines, and we can see where the potatoes are then. All these vines I'll share between the compost and the chickens. We've nearly revealed the first planting. I'll be able to get my spade out and see what we've got. But first I'll just get this lot off to the chickens. The girls love their greens. All right, well, I've cleared the first few plants to reveal quite a mound. I did plant these sweet potatoes just into a compost layer in a newly formed bed, and I'm hoping most of these sweet potatoes will be up in sort of this higher level, and it does look like they've kind of pushed up a little bit, and the surrounding garden has sort of dropped down a little bit, so they're all up here in this mound. So now the fun part is digging all this compost away and finding what we've got. Hopefully we don't find that the rats and mice have found too many. Now I'm a bit afraid to kind of get my spade involved too much, so I'll dig away at what I can with my hands before I kind of get the spade into it. You can see where the compost layer is, and then you get the soil going on down here, which we're going to have to dig into, because you can see that the plant roots are going right down into the soil. Ooh. Oh, there's our first tuber. Looks very good. I just love the colour of these things. Two. That's a good size. Oh. This is where you've got to be careful digging. You assume you've probably got all the potatoes, but then suddenly there's a big one at the end of one of these little strands. So you do have to be a bit careful. You can see we're just starting to hit where the damaged sweet potatoes are. A few of these have been gnawed. This one I'll probably just throw in the compost. This one I should be able to cut around that, and the same as this one, and I'll use those up fairly quickly because they're damaged. But yeah, it just means we're harvesting this. I don't know if it's the right time or we should have done it already, but we're getting lots out, so that's the main thing. Now, also planted within this potato patch, which probably wasn't a great idea, are some little rock melons. Now, they are small. The plant actually didn't get much light once the sweet potato took off, but that might be rotted out. But I'm going to take that one inside and see what we've got inside of it. There might be something to snack on there. But I'll see if I can carefully cut this plant out. But looking at the leaves, I'm sure it's probably finished. And this is as good as we're going to get. A bit more clearing has revealed a few of these hand-size rock melons. This one's the biggest, but it has rotted out a bit at the bottom. But I might cut them open and see what's inside. Someone's found this baby one. The colour looks okay. Hopefully there'll be something edible in this lot. Oh, wow. That's a whole heap of soil that's been moved by probably rats. I have little bush rats that live up in this area that are problematic at this time of year, mostly because they want the same stuff as I do. Hopefully they haven't had too much time to eat too much. Oh, there's all holes down here. Little buggers. Oh, that's sinking. That's like a massive hole under here. This is a massive hole. I think this is a rat's nest. They've taken down lots of stuff to make their nest with. And I think we've got to it just in time before they've actually... Oh, there it goes. There he goes. The rat's just moved out. I think I've moved in here just in time before we had a population explosion. Well, I'm glad it didn't have any babies just yet. All right, the rat's gone, so that's a good thing. I even keep just these ones because they will grow a plant for next year, even though they're not that, you know, you can't really eat those, but if they can grow a plant, then they're valuable. Oh. Munched. Wow, I don't know if that one got broken off at some point, but you can see how vigorous this plant is. It just grows lots of little plants from all these little eyes, and you can break off that in spring and plant that, or you can put it into water. You can see here, you could break that one off. That's what a slip is. You would just carefully take that off with the roots, and that's what they call a slip. And you can put that into the ground and grow all these beautiful sweet potato tubers. Amazing. Amazing the abundance you can get. Moving along, I think I'll just try pulling the vines. That might be quicker. That that was quicker. You live and learn. Better ways to do things. Certainly easier pulling these plants out of a compost layer than digging it out of the soil. And I feel better for not disturbing so much as well. Wow, look at that. It's amazing. I find these plants amazing. Now let's just get in and get the rest of these out. There's a few buried in here. Oh gosh, look at that. Look at unbelievable. Look at that. It's supposed to be 10 people. Look at that. That's my hand. And that's this sweet potato. Oh, amazing. Look at it. I definitely have to weigh that one. I prefer lots of littler ones. Just saying. This one's not a bad size. And you put it next to that. Tiny. Wow, that's another mega sweet potato right there. Oh, sorry, frogs. There's always some frogs in my garden that I disturb. It's like the energy of all these leaves we just put into these two mega tubers. Goodness. Whoa. Look at that. They're more like pumpkin size. All right, we're just about at the end of our patch, and as expected, the tubers were just under where I planted the plants. So the more plants you put in, the more you'll get. But I'm pretty happy with my load of sweet potatoes. I've got to get those vines to the compost and load all these potatoes up. I'm sure there's still one or two more hiding in here, a bit like harvesting potatoes, but I think we've got a fair amount. One last check, and I have missed some. I want to leave these ones behind. There we go, a couple extra. Just one more thing to add to my sweet potato harvest. Well, one big trolley full of sweet potatoes. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, last year I went through a whole curing process that I had seen on the internet, on YouTube. But this time I think I'm just going to lay them out as I would potatoes or pumpkins, and just make sure that they're dry. I might just brush them off a little bit once they are and then store them in a dark, cool place to hopefully keep them for a while. I don't know what I'm going to do with these ones and if they're actually edible, because they were the tuber that sort of fed out all the plants. So I'll have to check that out and see if they're still okay to eat, tasty. I will be weighing these big ones and letting you know what weight they are. As well as kind of weighing the whole lot, just so that we can get an idea of what we've got here. So not mice, but a bush rat making a home in my potato patch. She didn't end up eating too much. There was a few potatoes like this, but not too many. I think we got the harvest done just in time before she had her young in the little nest she was making. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Not too bad.